talk about something that everybody seems to be complaining about at the moment, the Naira. I'm almost speechless at this point. We saw on Friday that the pound hit 1,000 Naira, and the dollar has gone over 900, I believe, in the black market, of course. And everybody's just wondering, you know, the people had been predicting at the start of the year that we'll get to 1,000 Naira to the dollar by December. But at this point, it's looking like we might hit it by next week. I'm joined here, though, by the founder of Money Africa, Oluwatosin Olasanyinde. Thanks a lot for being here today. What is happening?
That's a very good question. A lot of things are happening at once. A lot of things are happening at once.
I think public cry now seems to be about this redesign of the Naira that seems to have triggered a lot of this. And for the layman, everybody's trying to understand how has that become the problem, because we've seen the Naira lose almost, I don't even know how many percentage. It was about 700 and something 2 weeks ago, and now it's over 900. What did that do?
Okay, so let's first of all look at the purpose. So the purpose is they wanted to curb inflation. They wanted a situation where they can also curb terrorism. They wanted a situation where they can also, improve the quality of the notes. And you're asking yourself, are they achieving that purpose? Now, let's look at timelines. Let's look at it practically. So on the 15th of December, they're going to start exchanging the notes, and they're going to close it on the 30th of January, right? So we have approximately 87 working days between that timeline. There are about 3.2 trillion Naira in circulation, with about 5,100 commercial banks. So technically, you're saying that how much would they be changing on a daily basis for that to happen? So the chances are actually very slim. So people are actually reacting, they are panicking, right? And for other people who are also thinking of, I don't want to put all that money in the bank, so they're not tracing it back to me and things like that. What would they go to? They'll most likely go to changing into dollars, right? That there's no trace. So the timeline is wrong. The duration is very short. I am definitely not, in support of that, because it's going anti what they're expecting to actually happen.
So are you saying it's a good policy, just badly timed?
I would say, that's a very good question. I would say it's a policy that should be okay if they had a longer period of time. Okay, they want new notes. I get it. Okay, they want better notes in the system. The timing is wrong. Next year, we have election in February. We have the census in April. Do you understand? Like, the timing is just really wrong. The timing is wrong.
I mean, in all of that, we're already grappling with inflation, which was going through the roof. Numbers are scary. What does this do as elections are approaching as well? I mean, election season is always a time when we hear all sorts of stories about money and, cash in the system and all of that. How does this affect? Because the reasoning was that this, the changing of the Naira, or the redesign of the Naira, I beg your pardon, was supposed to help, with what usually happens around elections. What does this then do? And how does this all affect inflation, and what might be coming in the months ahead?
Fantastic. So, like you rightly said, in terms of layman terms, what's happening is that a lot of Naira is chasing dollars that is not as much as that Naira. So because of that, there's a mismatch. Definitely, one of it will be getting overpriced. So now, how can you get people to sit comfortably in their Naira? You can't just tell people, oh, don't change Naira to the dollar. Some of them have children overseas. Some of them have businesses that is funded by dollars. Some of them have relations in hospital that need this money. So you can't just...
Some just want to save, maybe.
And some just want to save, exactly. They don't want to watch their wealth get wiped out. So you can't just tell them not to do nothing and just sit and watch. So even though we also own a financial literacy company, we're telling people, stay calm, people would also, they want to protect their wealth. Remember when the Naira to the dollar was doing that race? It went all the way from 500 to 570. I remember telling people then, stay calm, stay calm. What did history tell them? History told them that it went all the way to 600. Did not go back to 570. People will remember what has happened in the past, and that's what's happening. So how do you do that? You have to sell confidence. Investors hate uncertainty. So when people can't trust, when they're afraid, when they're seeing what has happened in the past, that's the biggest problem right now. It's confidence. So what are we going to do to sell confidence? I mean, I'm not the CBN governor, but number one, if this thing is having a counter-intuitive, considering what we were hoping to have this and it's not doing that, what do we do? Do we pull back? Do we suspend it? Speak to the people. Give them that confidence that, well, this is what is happening. And that's what the market actually needs right now, because people will panic and they will do what will be in their interest as well. So you can't tell people, don't change your Naira to the dollar.
While we're waiting for the CBN and those authorities to do something, on a final note, what should the average Nigerian be doing now?
Fantastic. I know the average Nigerian will most likely want to do what? Save in dollars, because they want to protect themselves. What I would tell people is this: if you don't need the money in the short run, that is in the next 2 weeks, in the next 3 weeks, in the next 4 weeks, right, I would say wait. I understand, and I know that history is telling you otherwise. History has seen you see the dollar fly from 500 to the rest. Now, in terms of financial institutions, they are projecting that how about if we devalue that Naira to the dollar to about 520, right? So because the Naira in the official market is overly strong. We're not as strong as we're making it look. Devalue it so that that race will come down, right? And then the demand and the supply will sort of match each other. So I'm also speaking to Nigeria, stay calm, and I'm hoping that the government will give us, confidence and something to actually make us stay calm.
I've always said this devalue. What is the actual value of the Naira, you think?
It's very subjective. Now, the Bank of America, one of those financial institutions is saying, you know what, it could be 520. Some analysts are saying it could be 550. Some analysts are saying it could be 500. Even though we always say we will not devalue, Ebuka, guess what happens? Eventually, we actually devalue. What happens is the devaluation sometimes comes in later and then we do not get all the gains from it. So if the market is telling you otherwise, make that move, don't delay it. So we might end up now devaluing maybe mid next year, but we've missed out on that move we could have just made, earlier.
Are we seeing any bright spots in this at all?
All right, so now I'm speaking in my personal capacity, not as a chartered accountant. I'm saying that I strongly bet on Nigeria. My businesses are in Nigeria. Our team is here. My parents are here. A lot of it's 160 million of us, and we all cannot relocate. So many young Nigerians out there are betting on Nigeria every day. We're simply asking, please give us confidence and let it be worth our while.
I'm sorry, because you're saying confidence a lot, and I'm just wondering, is it a question of statements?
Policies. Like now, this thing is not working. Pull it back. Take a move with the Naira. Go ahead and let's do some devaluation, right? Policies, the businesses, we need to export more. We can't keep relying on it. Look at the oil. The oil production, it has dropped from about 2.1 million barrel per day. We're now on 1 million barrel per day. How do we pick up that production? It's policies. Policies and just basically listening to the market and working together. We can all work together to actually make this thing happen.
Very tough times indeed, and Nigerians, are looking for answers wherever they can find them. Thanks a lot, Oluwatosin for being here today. We can just keep our fingers crossed and hope, that those in authority save us, pretty much.
We want to work with them.
We really did too. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Like I always say, you can follow the conversation on social media. Please use the hashtag Rubbin Minds when you send us a message. I'll see you next Sunday.